Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin for our charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour. So as you can see this morning on this, the last but one candle, we did manage to just close above, fully above our resistance level, and as such we are now getting a bit of continuation, obviously above that. This is what we wanted to see for the bulls, confirming candle closures above 58,500. So yes, obviously it is the weekend, and we do know weekend price action can often revert to mean, but we have been consolidating a while and drifting upwards, and price action over the weekend does potentially have a higher likelihood of actually continuing on if it is in line with the actual overall trend, as opposed to being against the overall trend. So the next few candles could be pretty important for Bitcoin as a whole. No doubt, Elon Musk talking about crypto, Dogecoin, Bitcoin in general, could get some more people FOMO buying. Could be bullish. Might not be so bullish for Doge. Who knows? Maybe there's a buy the rumor, sell the fact in Dogecoin. But yeah. Where could those people put those profits to better work? Potentially they could put it into Bitcoin. But anyway, that's just one influencing factor on these markets. The main thing is that we are basically breaking above this resistance. I mean, I don't know if I want to particularly draw it. You could try and draw an ascending wedge, which is potentially a bearish formation, obviously on the back of a move down, a potentially very large bear flag ascending wedge, and then are we going to break down? But it doesn't really look like that to me, to be honest. It just looks like we had a pullback, basically higher than this low here, and now we are basically regaining our nerves. The bulls are basically getting their mojo back after being slammed all the way down there. So yeah, it will be an interesting weekend. Will be an interesting weekend for price action. We are obviously above this level, potentially confirming very wonky looking inverted head and shoulders, which pretty much has a targeted move of all-time highs, and that would obviously get the price going as well. So interesting times. Not too much else to look at in here other than stochastics that we will look at the end. Were there any TDs that we needed to look at? I know there was a TD9 popping up previously. We did get this nice, obviously, daily at the low down here, daily TD9, so textbook reversal there. Also a couple of, we've just got this one here, TD 409 as well. So yeah, good to see the TD sequential doing its thing. Ethereum, Bitcoin, I think this is the one I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, we had the daily 9 here. Daily 9 at pretty much like important levels, important resistance levels. So for sure, sideways to down, as we are currently getting, it does seem like the likely scenario here. Especially we've come so far. Also, there's the rule of three. You'll often find 1, 2, the third one will then give us a proper move if we indeed get to the third one without any major pullback, which we have. So to see us get all the way to the top of the channel, all the way to this horizontal on the third daily 9, are we seeing some sideways to down? That is not to say it has to be down. It can just be sideways for a prolonged period. Prolonged, I mean like a few days. It is technically a 1 to 4 candle correction, so we are currently on the second of those 1 to 4 candles. So yeah, so just be aware of a pullback in this. Just be aware of a bit of a pullback, but yeah, I mean overall though it is still bullish. I mean, like I have said, we could come down to this level, even as deep as this level, but I would suspect that is a bit punchy, this horizontal, just on the basis if we had a median point of this trend line is going to be nearer this level. So we could easily get a pullback to 0.053 and be a very good buy level for continuation in the trend, or we could just consolidate sideways as we are doing and blast onwards and upwards. As you can see, the daily on the fiat Ethereum USD pairing. It did hit the daily 9 as well, but as you can see, that is that's struggling to trade, well, downwards at least. It's pretty much trading sideways and up, but no doubt that is getting dragged up, obviously, by this move in Bitcoin. So Ethereum is clearly just looking really good still. This is not a topping formation in any way, shape or form. So there is obviously the high likelihood of higher prices, basically. Bitcoin dominance doing its thing, pulling back. Obviously Bitcoin starting to make that move above 58.5k. So no doubt we could see a pullback in this if it does start to get acceleration to the upside. At the moment, it was only really just peaked its head above. And well, closed one candle above, barely above, and the second candle's not even closed yet. But if we do get a pullback, this trend line looks nice. Looks nice for orderly price action. Would look aesthetically pleasing. So watch out for that. Stocks looking good. I mean, clearly looking good. Onwards and upwards. Stocks looking good. No doubt helped out by here she is, what we were looking for. Basically in the DXY rejection at this level, and then taking out the lows, take out this level, and I mean we are looking at a basically 88 low 88s now, maybe potentially even 87 as the target. And then and well, I mean it's just a bearish trend, isn't it? And it's fundamentally bearish. Pretty much there are opposing factors, but yeah, fundamentally bearish. I've been hearing some things about how obviously all currencies in a lot of developed countries are basically under pressure, because they're just in control of the political establishment now, rather than the central bank establishments. But what it means, just basically, in fact, all I'm really wanting to say, all I'm really trying to highlight here is that in say Europe and the UK, they are more co-opted by the political establishment, and they are able to exert more control over the banks than they are. There's more resistance in America, basically, from the financial institutions. So what you could see then is that all this is a potential bull thesis for the dollar. It's just one that I've seen. It's not going to overrule the overall bear thesis that I have, but it is just another aspect of it, that the commercial banking system is going to be have more resistance to obviously issuing all the credit and everything that say European banks are going to do. So that is obviously it's just an upward bias for the dollar. But clearly the main bear thesis for me for the dollar is the fact that it's potentially in the process of losing world reserve status. So it is just artificially high based on world reserve status. So if he's losing that, then he's going to lose that artificially higher value, and that is pretty much the overruling aspect for me, regardless of all these dollar squeezes and liquidity traps and all this kind of thing that people mainly I would mainly say that they are basically attention grabbers. You know what these people are like in FinTwit, people trying to sell their newsletters. If you're an analyst, what do? You have a newsletter, you try and draw attention to yourself, you make crazy calls, because if you get them right, you can basically start telegraphing them around everywhere and try and get more subscribers. If you get them wrong, you just basically pretend you never said it. So yeah, there we go. Some names come to mind, but anyway, I won't mention those names. But anyway, so let's have a look also, a quick look at the 10-year in gold and silver. 10-year did basically, as you can see, came down to roughly our level, but got supported there pretty aggressively, actually. If we look at the gold and silver I was going to look at, that was it. So silver, as you can see, if we bust out of this, we're potentially going to get some major acceleration into the $40. Gold as well, looking to try and break this downward. It's hard to see where exactly to draw the actual trend line, but you can kind of see I would more look at just the horizontals. We're potentially taking out again another horizontal level around here, which will draw in of relative importance. Getting above here, we can see more acceleration to the upside. We'll probably increase this just to the tops of here, tops of these two highs. So yeah, taking out these levels, and then we're going full bullish realistically, and obviously extend this along this recent high as well. All-time high, I believe it is. It is an all-time high. Why am I even asking this question? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there we go. Gold looking better, certainly looking better. Looking to try and reverse this trend. Looking like a bottom formation here. Looking like a double bottom. Double bottoms don't often play out, but they are a thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't talk about them. But there is one there. So finally, stochastics for Bitcoin. These have got to be starting to creep even more towards that bullish case that we have been talking about and creeping towards. Yeah, 4 hour. Bearing in mind we had a bullish reset here. Bearing in mind we've now broken up 58.5k, broken above 58.5k. This has still got room to run. So that is clearly a good sign. 10 hour just decided to load up straight away today. Would you believe it, guys? Anyway, so yeah, 10 hour still pointing up and got plenty of room to run, so that looks good. 12 hour pointing up, got room to run. Daily still pointing up, still got room to run. 2 day has pointed up, is pointing up and is running to the upside with obviously lots of room to run. 3 day pointing up, room to run. And then it will filter through to these, but obviously 5 days still pointing down, weekly looking to turn up but still pointing down, and then these two just, I mean, we can't really read anything off stochastics for these. Nonetheless, though, we are looking at very good. So stochastics have taken a very nice bullish in this larger medium-term time frame. Have taken a very nice bullish reset, and now are all pretty much aligned to the upside. So you'd be a brave man to be shorting Bitcoin here. With these just with these indicator reads. Obviously anything can happen, but we're above this major level. We're above the level that I've been talking about for a long time as 58.5. Close candles above 58.5 and we go bullish. Stochastics are fully lined up for that as well. The dollar is making its move to the downside, which we were looking out for as a tailwind for Bitcoin as well. So yeah, are we going to see back 60k Bitcoin next week? You would have to say that it is a lot more likely than not. So yeah, make of that what you will, guys. So yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. Yeah, thanks for listening, and I shall speak to you guys soon.